Hi you guys, welcome to my little paintbrush. My name is Miss Cami and I'm super excited that you're here to paint with me today. I hope you love this koala as much as I do and I hope you're ready to have some fun. Before we get started, I want to give you a few tips that'll help you have a really good experience today and not feel too overwhelmed. The first one is remember that you don't have to keep up with me. Because of this awesome technology, you can pause at any time, you can even rewind. So if I move on to the next step and you're not quite ready, just pause, that's totally fine. It's not a big deal. I keep a pretty steady pace, okay? The other thing is to remember that we're all different and we're all at different levels. So don't be too hard on yourself. Your painting will most likely not look like mine, and it shouldn't. And we're here just to learn and enjoy creating. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've got my flat brush and I'm going to get it wet because our paint today is acrylic paint and it needs a lot of water. So let's get into some water, just kind of wetting our bristles a little bit. Now here is my plate or palette of paint. You can see I've got a pretty dark blue right here, and I want to have a nice almost sky blue background. So I'm going to move some of my white over here and a touch of blue and start mixing it. And you can see it just takes the teeniest bit of blue to get that really pretty color. And I want it pretty light because our paint will dry darker on the canvas than it appears here on our plate. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and light. I'm going to also mix in some water and I'm going to start to paint my canvas and I'm going to fill in my background. Okay, so just pretty simple, not worry too much about our brush stroke direction here. We're just getting paint on our surface. We are going to be careful as we go around our cute koala, not to get too much or any blue inside of him or her. If you do, that's okay, that happens. But we're going to try our best not to. And we're going to try and get all these little sections, but not concern ourselves too much if it's not perfect, because this is the first step in our painting. We have to remember that there will be others. This one won't be seen as much. And by the time we get all of our other things painted in, it will be distracted from all the little mistakes that might be bothering us right now. So we're just going to get that background in. Okay, so just keep loading that brush. Now you most likely are painting on a stretched canvas, so make sure that you wrap your edges, so go around your canvas. You'll want to do this just so it's a nice completed piece and you can set it on your shelf or hang it on your wall and it's all finished. We like nice and finished work here at my little paintbrush. If we're going to take the time to do it, we want to do it right. So all the way around that ear. Okay, so just keep filling it in. Go around this side here. You can see I kind of switch to the toe of my brush when I got to get in these little sharp corners or edges. Your brush can give you a lot of different brush strokes. You just have to understand how to approach your canvas with it. So a nice flat brush will give you a nice straight edge and cover more surface. And if you go on the toe, you can get into smaller spaces. I love this blue. It's so pretty. You may have chosen a different color, and that is totally fine. That's the fun thing about being an artist. You can choose. Okay, before I wash my brush, I'm just going to make sure it's got that light blue on it. Put a little of the dark blue on a corner of it. And I'm going to just cast a little shadow under our cute guy here in the tree. So I'll just take that dark edge and I'll just kind of give him a little shadow here. And then I'll kind of blend that in, taking my brush back and forth, creating a nice blended but obviously darker section of my canvas. It's fun to kind of do that, and you want to do that while your paint is wet. Okay, so I'll also come over to this cute little foot here, and I'll do the same thing. I'll just kind of take that dark edge. Now I've had to reload, so your one load of your dark paint won't do it all. So every time I go back, I add a little more. Let's put a shadow under that branch there. And we'll even go over here to this side. We'll do the same thing. Got a little too much blue, that's okay. You can just blend it right in. That's why it's good to go ahead and do it while it's wet, because you can blend that in pretty easily. So just kind of round that cute little foot and up that tree branch on that side. And then again, we're just gonna blend it all in here. Nice. And then we can do some more kind of up along the tree here. Just kind of adding some here and there, giving dimension to our canvas. And some sections are darker than others, and that's totally okay. Obviously, the base of our koala will be casting the most shadow, so we'll focus down there. But we'll also kind of add some in different areas as well. Just kind of break up the flat background that we've got going on. Over here. And it's amazing how quickly that blue blends. Now make sure you're not using the point of your brush when you're trying to get a good blend, okay? That's why we press all of our bristles down so that we get a nice blend. And if I were to just kind of focus on the point or toe of my brush for this, I wouldn't get that nice blend. So this is not the time for the toe of your brush. Just make sure this section right here has a good blend on it. Awesome, our background is finished. Let's go ahead and give our brush a super good wash. See, that was super easy, that background. And we were able to do all the blending we needed, and it is finished. So after we give our brush a nice wash, we're gonna make a really, really light gray. This is the color of our cute little koala. So black is super strong. Let's just take a touch of it. See how little I used? Hardly any. I just kind of dab my brush right into it. Then I just give it a really good mix. Remember, it's going to dry a little bit darker, so always go on the light side, stick to the lighter. And let's go ahead and just fill in this cute bear holding onto this tree. So we're just going to go around that forehead, just like that. And just paint it all in there. So the ear kind of wraps around your canvas, so you'll want to go ahead and wrap that as well. We are pretty encouraging of wrapping the canvas at our studio. That's a big deal for us. Of course, you can always make those decisions on your own, but I would encourage you to do that. It'll feel very finished when you're done, and you'll be able to display it right away. We can paint right over our little nose and our eyes. If those are traced on your canvas with a pencil, you can go right over them, and it's not a big deal. So you can still see them enough. You don't want to paint over them too heavily, but if you can still see that pencil mark, you're fine. And if you're worried about it, you can totally paint around it, but I was pretty confident that I could still see it. So let's go ahead and do his cute little feet and hands. These are just kind of like egg shapes. I'll do this one down here. Make sure you're getting a nice load on your brush every time you go into your paint. and make sure your paint isn't getting thick and clumpy. If it feels like you're painting with Elmer's glue, it's a good indication that your paint is telling you it's thirsty. So get some water in it and just kind of mix it around. Last little foot here. Love how this little koala is just gripped around this tree. And I love aspens, so that's why I chose an aspen for this. All right, our bear is all finished. So let's wash our brush again. Really good, just shake it all out there. Okay, I'm gonna switch now. I'm gonna go to, this is a number 6 round, okay? So if you have a brush that's a little more pointy, that's what we wanna use, but not quite a detail yet. We're gonna put some of our aspen details in our tree. So let's get that brush wet and loosen up that black paint. You can see I just make sure my brush has a lot of water, and then I mix it into my black and I spin my brush so it creates a nice point on the tip of that brush, okay? That's what we want. Now we're just gonna put in the details of our tree. So I'm gonna start up here at the top, and I'm just gonna go across straight as I can and press into my brush as I get towards the end of my stroke. Just press, and then it kind of ends that stroke for us. And then I'm going to do a couple little marks down here. Now you can definitely switch this up any way you want. Obviously, this is your painting, this is your aspen tree. So have fun with it and just be creative. So I'm going to do almost like a frowny face or a rainbow shape here. Curve it down. And then I'm going to do like a smile and curve it up. Just like that. And then right here in the center, I've got that little eye, just right there. Okay, so we're just playing with the pressure of our brush. When I want my brush to create something thin, I don't put a lot of pressure on my brush. If I want it to get thick, then I will. Now we're gonna come from this side. Typically I would start to flip my canvas, but I'm stuck. So if you want to flip yours around, you go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do something different on this side. I'm going to press and then lighten my stroke, since I'm kind of going in the opposite direction now. Right under this guy's foot, we've got some strokes coming out, just like that. You can tell I'm just trying to make sure each one is a little bit different. I don't want to have like copycat all the way down my painting. I want my tree to look like no two marks are alike. All right, now we've got another eye kind of shape, so I'm going to go starting right here, and I'm going to go curve around. Then I'm going to come this stroke and curve back under, and then I'll put the eye right there. Couple more down towards the base. We've got a long one right here. It just kind of comes out and press there at the end of your stroke. And we've got a short one, and then we've got another long one, but this one isn't quite as long as the first one. Remember, we don't want to end at the same time here. We want them all to be a little different. And then down here we have the beginning of another eye, but we can't see the rest of it because our canvas ends. And then we'll do a little mark right here on this corner, just like that. So cute. I love how this is coming along. While we've got all this black in our brush, let's go right to our nose here and just fill it in. And I'll just use this round brush to do it. Fill in our little nose here. Come around. Love the little triangle nose he's got here. shape in it. Make sure it's the way that you want it. Nice. Okay, now we'll go and we'll do our eyes. These are these oval eyes. If you feel like your brush is not giving you all the control that you want, you can switch to a smaller one. But I'm going to stick with this one, and I can always clean up with a smaller one if I need to. We'll come down here and do this eye. Same thing. He's just peeking around this tree, seeing what everybody's doing. Nice. Little eyes. You can do a winking koala bear if you want to, so you can just mix it up however you want. All right, I'm gonna wash my brush again. Super good. I'm going to come in to just my white paint. So I want to make sure that that brush is super clean. So I'm going to come in. It's nice and wet. If you need to loosen it even more, use your clean water. You should have 2 jars when you paint, or 2 cups. So you can have clean water to dilute paint like white, where you don't want your dirty water to get in it. And then we're going to come over here and just paint in an inner ear of our little bear here. So we're just going to kind of do this half circle shape. That might be a little scary for you to do because it's not already traced on your canvas, but just follow the shape of your ear and then curve it at the bottom wherever the direction of the little head is going, okay? And then you just fill it in. And it's white paint, so it's not as terrifying as, say, maybe black would be. You could easily reblend this into your bear if you needed to, so it's not stressful at all. Just take deep breaths. So just curving that along, and we'll come through and add a few details to help these pop. So if you're thinking, I can't really even see mine, we're going to add some black here in a minute. And that will definitely help. All right, let's shape in our leaves real quick. And we want to do this with white so that it's not competing with the background when we put our yellow. So let's start down here with these leaves. And leaves are super simple. You just kind of one little swivelly line and then another, and just put that leaf shape up. And I do something silly. I don't even attach it to the tree because I like the look of that. If that's driving you crazy though, you can definitely attach it to your tree. So I'm going to do 3 leaves here. This one's going to kind of go off my page or canvas, but I like to do it in 3s. And then up here, we're going to have one that's kind of coming down our canvas here. It's kind of, maybe it's falling off of our aspen tree. And then I did one that's just kind of up in this corner. You can kind of barely see it, but you can put it in there if you'd like to. So just curving that in. Nice. Okay, before I rinse, I'm going to go back and just do another layer of white in my inner ears. Make sure it's nice and bright. Just real quick. I'm not going to take too much time with that. There we go. Let's go ahead and rinse that brush. We are just about finished, you guys. This painting is so fast. I'm going to switch now to my smallest brush. This is my detail. Okay, I'm going to get it wet. And I'm going to go right into my black paint with it. This is, again, the smallest brush you have. You want to be nice to our detail. We don't want to give our detail a bad hair day. We want it to give us really nice brush strokes. So let's start in our branches and give our branches a little character. that we didn't want to do with our bigger brush because it would be a little trickier to do these teeny brush strokes. But of course our aspen branches would have little details in them too. So I did a little eye right there and the little marks on the branch. Perfect. Okay, now let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit, okay? So I'm going to come over to my eyes first. I'm just going to make sure that the shape is there that I want and it's all filled in nice. I'm going to do the same with my nose. If it needs a little more black, sometimes we feel like black is so strong that we won't need more layers. But then sometimes we do because it shows when we don't cover something. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and outline our entire aspen tree. Okay, we need to do this to help it pop, but it's not going to be as scary as it sounds. Okay, you're just going to do these straight lines. So I'm going to come over here and just straight up this aspen tree here. Again, remember your pressure. If you want a thick outline, then you press harder on your brush. If you want a nice, light, thin line, don't press as hard. Just go right up our aspen tree. Let's go over here to our little branches and give them some lines as well. Really help that tree to stand out. Clean up our edges a little bit. We'll even come and do this branch here. Just giving it a nice outline. Just right up. There we go. Very good. All right, now let's add a few lines to our cute bear, okay? Stick with me, you're almost done. We're gonna go ahead and do a little curve right there. We're not gonna outline our entire bear, but we are gonna showcase a few things to help our viewer really see all the details of our bear. So just kind of follow me, what I'm doing here. And what you'll start to see is all of those fun details that you kind of were missing from your bear are starting to be seen a little bit better as we kind of just give these little marks to our bear, helping everybody see our details. It's really important. You're working hard, and so we want that to be seen. And we'll just come around here just like that. Oh, so cute. Okay, we're gonna do his little hands and feet, but oh, we forgot part of the tree just right here, huh? We're gonna do his little hands and feet, but we're just gonna do the tops of them. So we're not gonna worry about full ovals here. That would kind of be tricky. We're just gonna focus on the top, okay? So just press as you curve around there, and then come off of it like that. All right, so we're gonna do that on all of our little hands and feet. Come around, just like this. So we're just focusing on the top. I like to make that top a little thicker, so it starts out thin, and then it gets thicker as it comes around. Okay, so let's do this one right here. So just light pressure, and then I press harder as I wrap around there. And we got one more, but I got a little water, so I want to make sure that doesn't bleed there. So press, and then pull away. Cute. All right, let's rinse our brush. You can see our little bear. Let's go to our medium or our number 6 again. Let's fill in our leaves now. So I'm going to take some white over to my yellow, just lighten it up a little bit. I'm going to take that yellow and just follow the shape that I created earlier. And you'll see that the white that we put on first is so helpful because, of course, blue and yellow make green, and we would have some green leaves if we didn't do this first in white. So we're going to fill those in, and it just pops because we've got a cool color. Our blue is cool on the color wheel, and then we've got this bright, warm yellow. So it's got great contrast here. Before I wash my brush, put a little white on it. Oh, that's too much white. And then just kind of put a highlight in there. Do the same up here. Maybe add a little more white to our brush. Just like that. Give it a good wash. All right, you guys. Let's go back to our detail. Put some white on it. Let's give our little nose a little bit of a highlight, just like that. And then let's flip our brush over so we've got the base of our brush now. So we're not using the bristles, we're using the bottom of it. And let's do some cute reflections in our eyes. I like to do two. Do a little big one, and then I do a smaller one. And those always bring so much character. All right, rinse it out real quick. Now to bring out our leaves just a little, I'm going to go back to black, and I'm just going to put a little black around the top, or I guess for you guys it would be the left-hand side of my leaf. Okay, so just, you're not outlining the whole thing, you're just helping it stand out, and you're telling the same story that you did on the rest of your bear. Okay, that's got quite a bit of water. Sometimes we get these runs in our canvas from water, too much water on our brush. All right, guys, you're finished. We just painted a cute koala in an aspen tree, and I love it. I hope you are just in love with yours too. Let's make sure that we sign our painting. That's really important because we're owning our work, we're proud of our work. I'm going to come down here and just sign my name here. Of course, you can do it however you want and wherever you want, but thank you so much for painting with me today. Send me some pictures, tag us so we can see them. We'd love to see your art, and we hope to paint with you again soon. Bye-bye.